Hello, everyone. Welcome again to this third and last class of this lucid dreaming course. My name is Marco Lopez. I'm here on behalf of the Gnostic Association, Gnostic culture that is present in more than 30 countries. Hello, everyone. Once again, that and it is a not-for-profit association course. This is all for non-profit. This is geared towards Gnostic culture. You would say helping humanity to find freedom in his own way, each one in his own way. So today we are going to go over the basics of what we need to do to make this lucid dreaming happen for us. We are going to make a little bit of a sum up. Went over what we call dream yoga. Dream yoga is just a set of techniques, tips that we need to understand what we need to do, what we need to change in our lives in order to have results. Because this whole lucid dreaming basically stems from the ability that we might have to gain consciousness. If we are able to then results. Because these lucid dreams and astral projection will happen to us sooner than later. But we need to make those changes. If there is no change in our daily life, there is not going to be change in our dream life. So dream yoga then is basically a set of techniques that we are going to use for that. So I've spoken first about relaxation. Relaxation would be the main thing here. And then yoga then is the basically a set of techniques that we are so I've spoken. This is the main thing, as I said. So relaxation would be the main thing here. The way to relax would be, for one, take a quick stroll outside just before going to bed. And we try to just do that a little bit quicker than we normally might do. So that we just with the night there we would then the body will be, and I think you can agree with me that this is going to be logical, that you are going to be feeling more relaxed. That would be the first step. Number one would be tensing and detensing the body, every single muscle that you have in your body while you are in bed. Then you need to basically focus, concentrate on staying awake in your mind, but letting the body sleep. So you will consciously let the body feel that sleepiness, that feeling of tiredness that we normally all get when we are in bed, and staying awake, but letting the body. Then we can try to have a little bit of that feeling of a way to are in bed, basically focus on that. So we just need to let the focus on what we are feeling, and then we can, once the body begins to relax, we just turn to the right, and we will basically then put our right hand below our head. We raise our knees, and the left hand goes alongside our body. That means that we would be sleeping on our right side, or trying to relax on our right side. Once we feel that sleepiness in our right side, we would then try to physically mantralize very quietly, very passively, you might say. And we basically would be invoking that. If, as we said in the questions yesterday, if we feel that, I mean, if we are, I mean, we have the bed for ourselves, there is nobody else, we can try to get up. I mean, once the body, you think is relaxed enough, you think that the body is feeling that sleepiness, you get up, you feel yourself as if vapor, you feel yourself as something very fluid, very airy, and you basically try to get up. If you feel, I mean, if you get up, you look back and you don't see your body back on your bed, you did not get out in astral. If you feel, I mean, so that would be basically it. I'm told that we have some technical problems, so we are going to stop for a bit, and we will be right back. Basically, so sorry. So hello again, we have solved our technical issues. So sorry for the interruption. So then, once we have tried to get up, we feel that we have that confidence in when the body is relaxed, we get up. If we don't see the body, basically we are in astral. We float away and we go wherever we want. If we see our body, then we are out. If we don't see our body, we got up in our physical body. So we have to go back, try again. So that depends on the willpower on each one of us. So we can try to get up as much as possible. So then today, let's try the next slide, please. We're going to see the psychological aspects of what we are trying to achieve here. So the consciousness is the key of everything. The consciousness is the what we need to develop, because the more consciousness we have in the physical world, the more consciousness we will have in the astral world. be that in a dream, be that in an astral projection. So this depends on our attitude, basically, to get back into our daily life and think of things that we can change and want to change. That would be another one. So let's go over 3 points that you can see on screen that we can then work on ourselves in order for this to happen. So first one would be the ability to concentrate, to focus. The first one is not easy to achieve. We especially live in a life nowadays that is a bit of a problem for this. You'll notice that we no longer read newspaper articles. We just see videos, and we see videos in a, let's say, how they show us in TikTok. That's 30-second stop. And that is not conducive to consciousness. Our whole life has been laid out for us, and our whole life tries to not help us to focus in any way, in any shape. That doesn't help us at all. So there are practices for this. One very helpful practice would be to take a candle, and this candle would be then something that you focus on. So if we imagine this pen is a candle, there is a flame on top here, and you focus on the flame, just look at the flame, and you focus on it, you concentrate on it, and you don't move your attention, your awareness outside. You just look at the candle, look at the flame, and that's how it goes. So that works for some people. Some people find it distracting that the candle actually changes shape all the time. It doesn't stay still. So another thing would be if we would basically think, I'm using then again the pen. Let's imagine this pen is a flower. So I would then take the flower in front of me with plenty of light, so I can see shades, colors, patterns, everything that the flower has. So I need to see this, and I focus on everything I see. I basically then study it, let's say for 30 seconds, close my eyes, and try to imagine every single detail. Can I rebuild the flower in my head, in my mind? Can I? Probably not. So then I open my eyes again, and again I go. I imagine this flower, and every single detail of it, I will burn into my mind. I try again, close my eyes, and I do this exercise back and forth until I have some kind of something resembling to this flower in my mind, and I can reproduce it in my mind. So that helps and builds focus, concentration. Another one, which I spoke on these 2 talks before, was the when we relax, we can then focus on our body parts and relaxing them. So the thing that we need to do to focus in that way, to relax that way, is, for example, focus on our big toe and feel it. When we actually feel it, we're putting our attention there, and we basically are making it alive. The toe will basically begin to tingle, and so on and so on. So we do this with the whole body, part by part. This takes time. This takes half an hour. If you want to do it really well, it might take more. But the thing is, you need to focus on each part properly. So you just feel it. And that will help you to develop that focus. All that helps develop focus. So that would be the way. As you can imagine, this takes a lot of work. This takes willpower, and you basically will be able, everyone is able to go into the astral world. Everyone is able to have lucid dreams, but as you can gather, this takes a bit of work, but it's not impossible. And just remember that everything that we do in life is for our own good. Whatever we endeavor to do, we will get, but we have to put the hours and we have to put the work. If there is no pain, no gain, they say. So second would be develop the faculty of discernment. This faculty of discernment that we spoke about yesterday has to do with basically discerning if we are in the physical world or we are in the astral world. We cannot be sure of this. We cannot know if we don't develop a way to know where we are. Because most of the time we basically think we are in the physical world. And then when we wake up, we realize, okay, we were not in the physical world. That was a dream. So if that can happen to us, who is going to tell if this moment right now is not in the dream world? It can be, of course it can be. So how do I know? I will pull my finger hard, and I will pull my finger, putting my whole being into it. I will pull my finger and I will basically be completely conscious, completely aware of what I am doing. This, if we do enough times during the day, will become a habit, a conscious one, a conscious habit. If we have a conscious habit, this will have very beneficial effects in our psyche, because in the astral world, soon enough, we will realize the finger stretches, and there we are. We realize we are in a dream, and now we can do whatever we want. Go wherever we want and talk to whoever we want. We can go searching, we can go explore, we can go do things, see things, and whatever we want. So this ability of discernment will be very crucial for us. It's required, really. I mean, we cannot get properly out in astral if we don't realize what we are living in the physical world or in the astral world. We need to be aware of this at all times. And the third one would be less fascinated by things in daily life. So you'll realize that many things in life basically have an effect on us. Let's say I'm a person who basically gets swayed by political ideas. I mean, not bad. I mean, we all have our ideas, and we have opinions, and we have whatever we need to have. But the thing is, maybe I'm right-leaning politically, I'm left-leaning politically, and maybe I like to get into political conversations, and maybe I get into trouble when I say what I shouldn't say in the wrong place to the wrong people. Maybe I like football, say, what the Americans call soccer. Maybe I like this, but I am, I don't know, a fan of a team, whatever it is, Liverpool or Real Madrid or the Bayern thing. I don't follow football. So there are people who actually feel that so strongly that they will base their opinion and their attitude in life on that feeling that I am from Real Madrid, I am from the Liverpool, from, I don't know, the Paris Saint-Germain or whatever team is, whatever, but they will feel this. This is something that is called, we are fascinated by this. And this can be football, it can be cars, computers, it can be women, it can be pleasure in general, it can be drugs, it can be so many things in life. For example, maybe you realize at some point in your life, you spent way too much time in a pub. That happened to me, for example. I realized at some point in my life, I drank way too much. And I thought it was normal, but I really missed out in life because I spent a lot of time drinking. And that drinking, of course, has effects, and that is not good for your health. I can tell from direct experience. So all these things, what we like, what we do not like, is going to have an effect on our life. If we enforce them, if we get to a psychological point where what we like and what we do not like does not have a sway over our life, then things are looking better for us. Because the idea is to be less fascinated by things and to be more conscious of who we are, of what is happening to me right now in this very moment. And that will help me be conscious of myself. Because if I am aware of what I am doing now, of what I am saying right now, of where I am right now, and I do not take anything for granted, that will help me to, let's say, awaken. This is what we call the awakening of the consciousness in Gnosis. And this will help us basically to get to a level of consciousness where we are aware of more things in life than we used to. Sometimes we begin this work and at some point it becomes clear to us that in the past, before we began this work, we basically were not living. We were kind of, I don't know, like a zombie, you might say, something that does not have his own will. Because our life very easily becomes very, very, very mechanical. So we cannot let that happen to us if we want to have some kind of control over our dream life, and if we ever want to get out in astral. So this is in a very, very short summary what we can do. If you need more help with this, there are online courses, and there are presential courses, I mean face-to-face courses in many countries, depends on where you are. So below this video there is a series of links depending on your language, depending on where you live, and you can try to find these presential courses. They are free, and we teach whoever wants to listen how to do this. This is for whoever who cares of his own life. This is important. We do know that most of the humanity doesn't care about this. That's their choice. We like to do this, be conscious of our own selves, and basically try to be free of ourselves. So let's go then to the next slide, please. So the second one would be health. This is a very long topic that I'm not going to dwell a lot, but just going over this, maybe we have realized that we are not as healthy as we should, we tend to have sometimes a very, let's say, sedentary lifestyle, and we tend to, well, nowadays a lot of people, like myself included, we work in front of a computer, we sit down most of our lives, and that is not good for the body. The body was not made to be sitting down most of its waking hours, and that has a toll in the body. So we need to find then a way, depending on the jobs that we have, we need to find a way to have a healthier lifestyle. If we are able to begin exercising, eating better, eating as much fresh food as we can afford, because nowadays fresh food is expensive, clearly very expensive. So that would be one, basically having a healthier life style by exercising. That would be one. Then if we talk to the right doctors, some of them don't really even believe in vitamins, in food supplements. But the thing is, I can say from experience that we need this. Most of people do need some kind of food supplements, some kind of vitamins. We can say from experience that, for example, vitamin C is not going to hurt you, even if you go over the daily dosage, which I have done many times. I mean, try to find vitamin C that is not in tablet form. That is, I know it's not that easy, but the tablets, most of them have these sweeteners that, let's say, are not the best for our health. I'm not going to name them, but we all know them. If you look on the big soda brands, those have those sweeteners which have been proved to be, well, they have been proved to be not good for our bodies. So try to find vitamin C that does not have sweeteners, and that will actually, you will have an improvement on your daily life. Don't overdose on those. I mean, begin slowly, but you will need to find a way to supplement your diet, because today in our daily life is difficult to find the proper foods so we can have the basic nutrients that we used to have when we were kids. I have more than 50 today, and I remember when I was a kid, food was very different for me, at least, than it is today. Today, it's very difficult to find proper food, and you have to basically try to find yourself to grow it yourself. That would be the best way. I understand that that is not always possible, but that would be great. So another thing then that we need to understand is, I said this yesterday, we need to give the body proper rest. If we go to bed after midnight, we are not doing that. The body has its own hours. There are these things called circadian cycles. I'm not an expert on that, but the conclusion from those basically is you basically need to get in bed before midnight, well before midnight if possible, like an hour, at least an hour before midnight, so you can actually rest. The body needs to be asleep by midnight. That will help you immensely to get out into the astral, to get and have your dream life back, so you can actually learn and you can not waste time, because who likes to have mechanical dreams that are useless, senseless? That's not good for anybody. So if we are able to get proper rest, basically get at bed as early as we can, we will be able then to get up early too and do some exercise, maybe, and do some meditation, maybe, that will help us cope throughout the day. And that will make us less pliable to the, let's say, rigors of life, of our boss telling us to, well, to do things that maybe we haven't done properly or whatever. And so, so rest is extremely important. And we also need to combine that with the food supplements, vitamins, because if the body does not have enough supplements, enough vitamins, it cannot rest. It needs energy to rest. This might come as a surprise, but the brain, for example, needs certain kind of natural glucose that is found in honey, the honey that is non-pasteurized, the raw, as you might say, the honey. That honey will basically be the right honey to have just a teaspoon worth of, and you take that right before going to bed, and your brain will have the necessary energy to basically tell your whole body, this is the time to rest. Now your relaxation will be much easier. It will be way faster. It will be easier in the general sense. So you can then begin doing your practice to getting out into the astral. And then the digestive functions, liver. So most of us have, unfortunately, liver that is not healthy. Liver, basically, the liver, what it does is it cleans our blood. There is a bloodstream that goes into the liver. The liver works as a very sophisticated filter, and the blood comes out clean. That is what the liver does. So we have plenty of toxins in our bloodstream, and the worse we eat, the more toxins we will have. Let's say if we like fast food, that will not help us to get it out into the astral. The more fresh food we eat, the more easily we get out into the astral world. So we get into the habit of basically taking some herbs that I'm sure you can find in the country where you are from, that will clean the liver. And we should clean the liver maybe once a year, because this is depends on the herbs in the on the procedure that you do. But in general, the liver is a very delicate organ. So if you do a cleaning on the liver, that will basically help you to get a cleaner bloodstream, and that will help you to be more light. So it will make your life easier when you try to get out into the astral. So this, we could talk for hours about the health. We could give you recipes, we could give you practices, we could give you vitamin names and so on. But I mean, let's not make this complicated, because every country has its own regulations and it's a different market and so on and so on. So we are going to leave it here. So you will have to investigate a bit in your own country and see what works there and try to find ways to get better, well, food supplements and so on, and healthier food. The rest bit, that is up to us. That depends on our own habits. Nothing is stopping us there. So let's go to the next slide, please. The third, body and surroundings. So this might seem as, this might seem as a little bit petty, but I assure you it is not. So if we have our room with clothes thrown here and there on the floor, we have, I don't know, if the room is not clean, it's not tidy, it will be more difficult for us to get out into the astral world. Why is that, you ask? Because we subconsciously get into a place which is tidy, which is well aired, which is clean, which smells well. Because sometimes in our bedrooms, the smell is not nice. So sometimes we need to air that room quite a bit. We need to clean it properly and make sure it's not dirty. If we enter in such a room, that will make the body relax, because we are in a nice place. Objectively, a clean room is a nice place if it smells well. Sorry, it has a nice odor, let's say. So that is going to help us, and it is going to have an effect on our body. Believe it or not, just try. Just fix your room, clean your room, even if you need to paint it. Lighter shades are preferred. If you paint it, I don't know, in a dark shade, that is going to work against you. And this is just for the bedroom. So I'm not saying you should make it white or anything. Any shade will do, but lighter kinds. So basically, then the clothes that we wear to bed, it might be that we live in a place where it's not that hot, not that warm. So we need to have bed clothing that basically is a bit on the heavy side. Let's try to have maybe less layers and better layers. So you might want to have, instead of 5 blankets, just one that is very effective. So try to have a very light feeling. So if you have to basically do an effort to get out of bed because you have 5 blankets on you, that is not going to help you to get out into the astral. So you need to be feeling light. You need to be feeling like, I'm going to float. This is the idea. So the less clothes, the less bed clothing you have in your bed, it would be the better. So it will work to your advantage, basically. So then, at the same time, we can take those 3, for example, there are more, but let's take those 3, for example, plants, and we can bath in them. So how we do have a plant bath? We basically boil water with a little bit of those plants, leaves of those plants. We boil water, and when we go to the shower, well, we wait a bit until the boiling water has cooled, so it's not that hot, so it won't scald us. So, and when we go to the shower, at the end of the shower, we just let the water with the infusion of the leaves wash over us. And that will have very refreshing sensation when we are in bed. That will work to our advantage as well. Even if you want to take a little bit of those plants, say you take a sage leaf, you basically crush into your fingers, you make it a pulp, and then little bit of pulp, you basically just put a little bit here, maybe a little bit here, maybe a little bit in your plexus. That will help you as well, because that will have the ability to clean up your energies, clean up your electromagnetic energies, and that will help you in order to basically get it out in the astral, relax, and feel clean. Try it. It's you will not lose anything without trying. So this will, in general, having a clean body, having a clean room, having an well aired room, and one that is actually fragrant. You can use whatever perfume that works for you. Maybe sandalwood, maybe myrrh, maybe incense, something like that, that basically uplifts what you feel and helps actually set the tone for you to get out on the astral world. That would be to your advantage. So these are all then just tips that you can do to get out onto the astral world, to have lucid dreams, which will be the first step before you get out of the consciously out on the astral world. The first step will always be have lucid dreaming. Basically, you will wake up in dream, and from then, once you are comfortable there, you will gain the ability to get out onto the astral world consciously. As I said yesterday, that will take some work, that will take some willpower. You will have to overcome the fear of death, and you will have to overcome the fear of the unknown. That is a fear that we all have. Maybe we don't recognize we do have, but we do. So that will play a role. And you will ask yourselves questions like, why am I doing this? So most probably you will have a different answer at night when you are fearful to get off into the astral than right now when you see no issue of going out into the astral world. So let's go to the next slide, please. And the Venerable Meister Samael Aun Weor, founder of the Gnostic movement, says, "It is necessary to stop dreaming. It is necessary to awaken consciousness. And this process of awakening must take place at all times, in all places." So this goes back to the first slide of today, the psychological work that we need to do. We just need to reflect on what works for us, what doesn't work for us, what is conducive in our lives to get to know ourselves, what is good for us and what is not. This takes sometimes a lot of courage, and this takes a bit of reflection on each one of us to realize in our lives what we are doing wrong. So as you can imagine, this is not easy to do, but it depends on you. There is nobody that can actually help you with this, but this is a step most definitely you will have to undergo, because there is no way that you will be able to overcome fear if you don't see a reason to. And the reason would be to know yourself, to basically have control of your own life, to have control of your dream life, and basically stop wasting it, because most of us are wasting most of our lives, in the sense that we are not using the time that we sleep, that the body is asleep, to have proper time and to study and to do something useful for us, something pragmatic for us. So, and next slide, please. So this is then this talk for today. Before we go to questions, let me remind you about these 3 QR codes. These 3 codes basically will take you, as you can see, one to subscribe to this channel. The second is to give donations to the association that is basically promoting this, which is the Gnostic culture, whatever that is called in your country, because they all have different names. But this is a non-profit, not-for-profit association for sure. So everyone that is behind this video, for example, that is a lot of people, we all volunteer. There is no money involved here, but internet connections and servers and computers and so on do cost money. And so these donations go towards, so we can keep doing this, and there will be more talks. Whatever you can afford, it will be welcome. And the third link there is to download the ebook, so you can actually read this talk that I have been giving with my voice, and you will have it in print. And it's a PDF that you can keep, and you can study it, and it will be clearer maybe than what I'm saying here. So let's go to the questions then. Let's see. So Daniel Giabeng asks, are there some people who can not do astral travel because of health issues? Yes, very much. If you have, let's say you have your liver more damaged than usual, than the rest of us, you have issues with your liver, it will be very difficult, if not impossible, for you to get out in the astral. The liver is basically very much needed to get out of the astral. So that's why the health recommendations I gave earlier would be so important, because normally we don't know that we have a very let's say dirty liver. Dirty in the sense that it is a filter, so dirt from the blood will stay in our liver. There are ways to clean it. There are practices for this. There are herbs and so on that will help you to get a clean liver. So that will definitely improve your chances to get out into astral world. NBD asks, what about consumption of meat? Will that impact your astral travel? Well, in general, the meat that we should eat, it should not be that much. It is not recommended really to eat meat, for example, every day. If we eat meat every day, that has some toxins that the body will take longer to eliminate, and especially true in the case of pork. Pork is not good for your body in that sense, because it will definitely not get you out into the astral world. The Jews and the Muslim have things, in this case, have things right. Pork is not going to help us at all in this, to get into the astral world, because it has some toxins that are very difficult for the body to expel. So in general, we should eat some meat. We need the meat. We do not recommend to go full vegan or full vegetarian, not at all. Some meat is needed because it's part of the 4 elements, and the fire that is contained in that meat will be needed for us. So we need to eat some meat. Now, if we are doing these practices at night, of course we are, because that's when we should be doing them, it is recommended that we have lighter meals, especially dinner. The idea would be we begin the day with a very strong breakfast, a lighter lunch, and even lighter dinner. That would be the ideal for us. But I understand that in some cultures it's not possible. But the more you eat, the more difficult it's going to get you to get out into the astral world. So try to eat light, especially on the days that you're trying this. So maybe you need to rethink some dietary changes to your diet, whatever that might be, and that will basically help you. So yeah, in general, I'm not saying that you should fast. Let's not go there, but a light meal definitely will help you, because you need the food, you need the energy, but not too much, because then the body is busy doing something else, and the body, what it needs is to relax. So if it's busy processing food in your stomach, it's going to be difficult. Okay, so I don't know, Coco Chanel, whatever, all that stuff is not conducive for your body to basically feel relaxed. So we need to find something that actually relaxes us. NVIDIA asks, I always fear that my body will be taken over by other beings while I am on an astral travel. Is this possible? If yes, what can be done to protect your body? No, this is not possible. Possessions normally happen to people who are, let's say, predisposed to undergo this, but you need to be in your body for that to happen. Your body will not let anybody in but you. So the way that possessions work basically is because we let them use the body. This is what happens. This is not healthy, though. This is not how nature intended for your body to be used. Your body was given to you, and it is a very precious gift. So I would very much not recommend, if you do these kind of things, that you keep doing it. I mean, in general, if you like, of course, that's your life. That's your prerogative. But it is not going to be conducive to a healthy astral travel. And in general, if you are out of your body, nobody will be able to get into your body while you're away. Because as long as the antakarana, the silver thread that connects you to your physical body, is there, is connected, you are alive, that will not happen. So, no chance. Next question would be from Dorothy Key. I'm always getting scared as well when this weird feeling is coming and I stop. Is there any trick that could help with overcoming it? Yeah, this is the feeling I was talking before. It is really the feel of death. And that is the problem. Our body does recognize, our mind does recognize as well that feeling of death. And it is not a death, of course, but the feeling of getting out of your body, it is something that we find difficult because that feels very much like death. So this is something we need to overcome. But the only way to do this is like just swimming. The only way to swim is basically get into water and try it until you basically go forward. So maybe it would help for you. I don't know. You see, I always say something like, this is easily overcome by the knowledge that we all go into the astral world every night. This is news to some people, but we all go unconsciously, most of us, to the astral world every single night. So this would be, this knowledge sometimes help people. If you already have the ability to go out onto the astral, and you are not able because of this barrier that you have, the only way to basically overcome a fear, whatever that might be, is to basically confront it. That is the only way, in any case. So not really helpful, I know, but this is the struggle. This is, we all have to go through this. And for most people, this fear is actually completely unconscious. So they are not even aware that they have this fear in particular. So if you already know you have this fear, you are halfway there. So it's easier for you than for most human beings. So what can I say? Good luck. Enkosana asks, what happens if someone shakes you and you are out on a travel? You immediately go back. So for those of you that you have been trying to get out of the physical body, you will realize that to get out into the astral is a process where you fail most of the times before you actually get out. So what we need to do is to try to get out, and then sometimes we realize, okay, I am kinda in a horizontal position. I open my eyes and I see everything is white. And then I realize that I'm on the ceiling. My astral body is on the ceiling and I'm there, and my body is down there below me in my bed. And the white that I saw is the ceiling that I have in front, above me. Of course, if this is the first time it happens to you, you freak out, of course. And when you basically get down into the body, it's a very big bump. It feels like you have just fallen from a second floor, a third floor. It's a big bump. Your body doesn't move, but the feeling of going from the fifth dimension back to the third is a big bump. So you will feel it. I assure you that. So it is not really an issue. So immediately you are awakened, you will be awakened. You will not even realize until you open your eyes and you are there. As normally, because normally we are there, but we are unconsciously. So this is just a conscious way of doing the same thing we do every single night. We gain consciousness, we gain knowledge, we gain our life back. So this is all for ourselves, really, for our own psychological and internal and spiritual freedom that we all at some time lost in some life that we had before. So yeah. So apparently there is no more questions for today. I have to thank you all for your attention. I have to thank the team that's behind this video. My apologies for the issue that we had at the beginning of this video. So I hope you all fare well and try to be happy. See you later.